Everybody, welcome back to This Round's on Us, episode whatever. Today we're going to talk about relationships and a lot of different things that go into said relationships. So today we got the core four. So myself, Scott,
Tyler,
Rambo,
Nick.
Cool, all of us. All right, so we're all here. So I guess we're just going to jump in. It's going to be just a whole different, a bunch of different topics that go into during relationships. We've all had, for now, I guess not to shoot out everyone's personal history, but we've all been in a bunch of different relationships, different kinds, and now we're all on different points in our,
Only one of us is actually in a relationship right now.
I'm married right now, and then everybody else here is single, but either just coming out of a relationship, been in some long-term relationships, in and out of different relationships. We've all have a different kind of
I guess
path.
we suck. Ladies.
Yeah. So ladies, we got 3 of the core 4 here single, if you're looking. So if you like the sound of their voice, but anyways.
Oh, that's not happening.
So I guess one of the first things that we found real interesting to kind of talk about, and one thing that we can all kind of relate to because we all have the same friend group, is how important your significant other's friends are, and how important your friends are to your significant other. I'll kind of jump in and start. So my wife has been friends with my own friend group since before we even met. So it was kind of an easy, transition. Yeah, it was an easy transition. She only had to meet a few people. Like Rambo, she didn't. I guess we knew each other. They knew each other. They had maybe been on the same levels. Like she knew Nick and Tyler. She already knew.
What are you talking about, dude? We got tickets together at her party.
Oh, I guess maybe you did know her that well.
Yeah.
I didn't meet her until well after.
I wasn't like best friends with them like they were. But.
Right. So for me, it was kind of easy, but I haven't really had a lot of turmoil with the friends. As far as I know, I've had in previous relationships, I've had friends not like me for multiple reasons, or just really petty reasons. I don't know. But with you guys, how much does that hurt or help you guys in certain relationships? I guess.
If her friends don't like you, chances are, unless you and her already have something going on before you actually meet her friends, then it could potentially work out. But if her friends don't like you, like from the jump, then there's a high possibility that it's probably not going to work out.
They're going to be against you that whole time.
I can tell you it is again, from my own experience, it is an uphill battle sometimes that eventually I won it over. And, a lot of, and the people that don't listen to this even know that there was some people that did not like me off the get-go, but now they're all my friends. We, talk, we text, I would go hang out with them at parties or whatever. Like, we're all good friends now, but there were some people that didn't like me, and it might have even been like me, but like the situation, maybe they didn't want, my significant other to be in a relationship. Maybe they wanted them to be single at the time so they could be single together or whatever it was. But they just, I guess I know what it's like going into an uphill battle sometimes.
Well, even there's also the reverse of that is that they like you at the beginning, and then as you get into the relationship a little bit more, they start to not like you.
I feel like that'd be worse, actually.
It kind of is. Yeah. It's happened to me the last 2.
But I think that happens more with a guy's friend group, is that they'll like the girl at first because obviously at first the girl's going to be way more fun, but as the relationship goes on, their friend's going to be more involved with the girl, so they're not going to do as much. So the guy's friend group kind of gets all pissed off that he's not around as much, which does happen.
And I guess
it does, aka Tyler. That's happened before.
Yeah, so I guess the worst part, not the worst part, but one bad thing that can happen if the friends do or don't like you is no one likes that one friend. There's people, I guess all of us have done it before, actually. When you get into a relationship and then you kind of don't see your friends for a little while, or you don't, either on purpose or just because you're hanging out with the other person so much.
I can attest that all 3 of y'all have done that.
Yeah, I know I did it before, and I'll dive myself into a relationship, and I don't want to hang out with my friends. I just, if anything, I guess I put them on the back burner for a little while. And that's, I don't know how much that has to do with. I guess that has to do with my own friends, not her friends. Like her friends didn't make me stop hanging out with my friends. Yeah. I just stopped seeing my own friends.
Or her, it's just you focused more on her than
right.
You're focused on your friends.
And
I mean, it makes sense.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing either, because if you obviously we don't do it on purpose. It's just you're invested in it, so you try to make it work, and then like, you know, you're not only working with your and her schedule, so you're already like, you know, trying to figure out everything, and then like your friends are like, oh, can we do this? And you're like, oh, well, I already have plans with her,
and you're not going to
like,
cancel those plans.
Oh, I'm already busy with like work or school or whatever you're doing.
For sure.
So it's like, you know, it obviously doesn't happen on purpose, and there's some times where like, oh, you can make time to see your friends. Yeah, like, I mean, it'll happen because, you know, you're not going to be with your girlfriend every single minute of every single day.
Now we have had friends that have done that before, though. You know, that we don't see like at all.
Yeah, there's been a few. I mean, there's friends we haven't seen for like months at a time.
Yeah.
One of them's in this room.
Well,
I'm not going to name names, Nick.
Well, we've all had different experiences. And then, you know, like, and I don't know how much Nick wants to touch on his experience, but, like, I don't know, for example, I think his situation was different and unique, but I've seen Nick more in the past, like, month. Like a lot.
Yeah, same.
Over the past, you know, couple of months before that, maybe I can't remember how long it was. It felt like 6 or 7 months, like or something like that. I felt like it was a long time. Maybe I'm overdoing it.
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5. Yeah. Maybe.
It seemed like so much longer.
I didn't keep track on it. You know, I wasn't like, I've seen Nick today. I haven't seen Nick today. You know, I don't keep track or anything like that. But you know, it was another friend situation where friends didn't get along within the group. So then, you know, people didn't see each other. And that was another case of like, I would more so say. Friends and friends. Like, I don't think any of us had a problem with Nick. Like, whenever things were going down.
No, I actually used to hang out.
Yeah.
I still saw Tyler.
Yeah. So none of us were like, but it was our friends or other, you know, it was really the friends, and then the significant others that, you know, had problems or someone didn't get along with somebody, and then, you know, things happened and we didn't see Nick for a little while.
Well, and then like the other side of that too, like when I said like the vice versa, like the friends don't like say like us, like you are the relationship, and then like their friends don't like you.
Right.
Like both times that's happened to me is the girls have picked me over their friends.
Right. Which is going to make the friends hate you almost forever.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, that's why,
But,
like, I've realized it's, if the girl's like, oh, I'm going to go do something with my friends, like, obviously you're not going to be like, oh, no, don't do that.
You're not
like,
gonna stop.
Yeah, I would, like, honestly, I encourage you to go hang out with your friends. But, because, I mean, the thing is, though, is that, like, what are you afraid of? That she's going to go, like, if she cheats on you, guess what? Well, okay, then that was her mistake, not yours. Like,
exactly.
You should trust yourself. If you don't trust them to go out with their friends and not do anything, then you're probably not in the right relationship.
Yeah. Plus, I want to play video games too. So
yeah. So
I guess it helps with your and even something like that. That can kind of segue into something else we were talking about too. Is encouraging them to hang out with their friends is how important is alone time to us or to you guys in your own relationship.
Well, and it like necessarily can't even not even be like alone time. It could be like, oh, well, she's hanging out with her friends. Now I get to hang out with my friends.
Right. Okay.
So it can work both ways.
And even then, it doesn't have to be like you can be in the same house or apartment or whatever. But like if you like, I'm going to sit down and watch TV or something that I like. Yeah, doing your own thing. But you can be in the same vicinity. But we don't have to like sit there and be like on each other the whole time.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Different alone time is different to everybody. Some people want to go like leave and like go maybe see a movie by themselves or go to like dinner by themselves.
Dude, I cannot watch a movie I cannot go to the movies by myself.
But even then, it's like
I will, but
and then some.
I love going to the movies by myself, but it's like she can go hang out with her parents, and then like all right, I can sit at home and watch Netflix or like catch up on stuff that I've been trying to like catch up on. That stuff that she doesn't enjoy, like that stuff that you can do by yourself.
Well, and then some people some people can be cool with alone time, like you guys were saying a second ago. If she's on the computer and you're playing video games, like she might be a couple feet away from you, but you're doing your own thing. Like you might even have like a headset on and whatever, and you're focused on
like
whatever.
They want to read a book,
and you're
playing video games.
Yeah, that's that, like same vicinity, but like you're not just
you still get to do something that you want to do.
Yeah, or they're like doing school or / like work stuff on the computer, and you get to. You doing that and then them doing their own thing.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of cool with both. I don't know if I have a preference, but sometimes, like, I don't know. I think one thing in a relationship that is put as like a bad thing that isn't really that bad that I've noticed being in, like, I'm married now and I've noticed that it's not really as bad as some people think it is. If there's something that one of you likes and the other one hates, like, that's not like a super huge bad thing that I think people make it out to be. Like, I know that my wife probably doesn't want to sit down and watch me play 2K for 3 hours. Like that's fine. Like that doesn't mean like you don't like my video games. We got a problem. You know what I mean? Like that's not a real thing. You know.
Yeah, that's just
there's some stuff that she might want to do that I don't want to go do that. I think it's more important to like tell them that instead of being like being pissed off. They don't want, yeah.
That's
I'll tell you like, hey, you want to go see that movie? I don't want to see it. Like go see it. Like I'll do my thing. You do yours. And,
for sure.
And as long as there's like a good balance of that, not like, hey, you go do all that stuff. Like there's some stuff you're gonna do for them that you don't want to do, and there's some stuff that I know that they're gonna like your girl's gonna do for you that you don't want to do. You know,
yeah, like understand Call of Duty.
Right? Yeah, or you know,
that's not that important.
but maybe it's important to him. You know what I mean? Like maybe you would want your girl to like maybe
that's
cheer
the thing
you
that he
on.
does online and plays with his friends. Like who cares? Like as long as she can watch football without like oh my god, I don't want to watch this. But that's something like you do like on a weekly basis, and like sometimes you do with like a group of people.
Yeah.
Like as long as she's like cool with that, that's like I wouldn't say even that. That's still not a big deal because she doesn't have to watch sports with you or like anything like that.
But would you want her to be like, hey babe, what was your kill count today? Like what was your your KD today?
Like, well, I mean, that's kind of hard to. Well, yeah, that'd be cool.
Like it'd be cool, right? And you were like, and you said like a good number, and she was like, oh, it's badass, and then like
they understand what you're talking about.
That would make you feel good, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool as fuck.
I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that a girl could talk about that I'd be like,
I'm saying,
but I'd be like, oh, like all right, I was like, oh, so what is that? Like, you can still ask about it. Like, you can listen to what they say and then be like, oh, what does that mean? Or like, oh, how did that go? Or what is
you learn about something that they like?
Just learn about it.
If you ask them about something that they're interested in, and you act like you're interested, do they freak out?
Well, it's also better if you get interested.
It's about actually like
don't say like in a good way.
Yeah, you're interested in what you're actually just genuinely interested in what they're talking about.
Yeah,
and that's all it is. And like even if you don't understand it for the most part, it's like at least you're trying to.
You're trying to do it for them. Yeah.
That's the thing.
I think that's a good.
Which is a really that's people don't realize that. As long as you're trying to understand it, even if you have no idea what the hell they're talking about. First of all, I don't even know, like, they talk about makeup way too damn much, and I still don't know what half that shit is.
I've learned a little bit about it, but it's...
Well, yeah, but you live with a woman now. I'm just we're just here.
It's, I don't know, everything gets its own, like to them, like, some of the stuff we do that we know so much about, like makeup, if you watch a girl do makeup's like an art, like a skill, you know, like it's like.
Well, I mean, yeah, with how much they're wearing now.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, even like some normal stuff, like I don't know. If you were like, I feel like there's some stuff that, and I don't know,
like eyeliners, like that, bro. That's
like if you sat me down and they were like, hey, I'll give you $1,000 if you can put on like these, like they gave me like a list of some makeup, and it was like, I'll give you $1,000 if you can put these in the right places, like on your face.
No.
Like I don't get.
First of all, the right places is different than like which one goes on first. Because I'm screwed.
So for them,
it's not happening.
To try to like something, and maybe like you said earlier,
what do? We shower and shave,
like maybe
leave.
Put deodorant on. I hope so.
We don't have to do anything.
Yeah. So
like our hair, even our hair, it's like they have to blow dry. Some have to straighten it or curl it, or like it's just like all right, cool. Like we don't have to do.
So like you said, trying to understand. / I guess appreciating, being like, hey, it's cool that you can that shit, like you know how to do that shit, like she would do for your KD, you know, you try to appreciate more than I guess like try to like you're not gonna go in there and be like, hey, can I put I'll put your makeup on for you, like you know.
But is there such a thing as like, well, I mean, obviously there's such a thing as too much, but like if you're obviously she's doing like her own thing and then she like complains that you're playing too many video games or like whatever, is that a problem? Like, do you think that it's a legitimate thing?
Or like you're always reading that damn book.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever you're doing.
It's not always video games.
Right. It's whatever you're doing at the time.
Or like, oh, you're always on fucking Netflix and not paying attention to me or something like that. Which, I mean...
As long as it's like a...
I thought we watched Netflix together.
But do you think...
I thought we were all playing. I thought it was cool.
But do you think that they should, like, just get mad about it? Or do you think that it's something that should be like, hey, like...
Addressed, I guess?
Yeah, like, they should address it and, like... like they should have a conversation with you about it before they get mad.
Well, yeah, I feel like discussing things, like when you like start to notice it, it's a lot more healthy than like waiting for it to build up and then it becoming an argument.
And then I think that even if it like even if it keeps happening, obviously not all the time, but if it's something that happens like every now and again, it kind of annoys the person. I feel like it's something that you should just point out, be like, oh, you've been on that, like you've been doing this for a while. Like, oh, can we go do like bring up another option? Don't just be like, oh, you've been doing that. Well, what else am I supposed to do? and then just like, I don't know.
That's
I think there should be like another option. Like, hey, we should go do this. Like, we should go. I don't know. Like, go to the mall or go do something. Go to the movies instead of sitting at home. Or like go to dinner. Like, come up with another option. I don't think you should just get mad about them doing something that they enjoy, and then not have something else. Like, I mean, obviously,
come up with an alternative option that you guys can do together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fair. Because if they're like, or maybe say they don't need as much alone time as you or you as them. So you're like, hey, you read your book, I'm going to play my video games. Again, I know people do other things. That's just what we can relate to right now. So they're reading their book and you're playing your video games. They finish reading their book before you're done. But you're like, I'm not done with my alone time. I still want to play video games. Is that kind of where you're like getting at? Like,
yeah, I mean, like that's like, you got to think about it though too. Like reading a book, it's like, all right, you know, eventually you probably get tired of sitting there staring at words on a page, which I love reading books, but I can probably play video games for a lot longer.
Right.
Oh, 100%.
So it's also like you can probably sit there and watch Netflix for hours on end.
Yeah, dude, books put me to sleep.
So it's just, I mean, you know, it's all about finding that balance. But I still feel like even like when you're done, be like, oh hey, like play a couple more and then like let's go do something. Like,
as long as y'all are both fair about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like you're always on that damn game like that. Like just talk about it. But then
like there's some girls who like want to go out too much.
No, there is that, but that's also another part about like letting her go out with their friends.
Not even just girls, just like there's some people who like to go out all the time, and then there's like other people like me, like I like staying at home and just chilling.
I think that's when you find that balance. You can't tell them like
they can't go do something.
Well, even if they want to do it like with you, like you can't tell them like, hey, like if they say they go out 5 nights a week, and that's to you that's too much. I think you should find a balance. Like, how about you go out with them like 2-3 nights a week, and they stay in with you. So that means sometimes you got to go out when you didn't want to go out, and sometimes they got to tell their friends, no, I'm not going to go out. I'm going to stay home.
Well, that's because some people are introverts and extroverts. There's people that like being out in public. There's people that like, you know, that not even that they thrive on attention, but like they just like to be out.
Social. Like
people. So there's social people, and there's other people that like to stay inside, but obviously there's like, you know, people that they still want to get out of the house occasionally.
Right.
So I mean, like they can't get mad at you for wanting to stay home, but if you stay home all the time, that's a different story. That's almost as worse as going out too much. It's never leaving the house. It's like never leaving the house, but like you only leave the house when it's just you two. But like she wants you to go out and experience something with like her group of friends or your group of friends. Right. But even then, like Scott said, it's, you know, hey, they can come over to the house too, or like you can go to somebody's house. It doesn't have to be like to a bar. It can be a nice medium, nice mix. Or like y'all could all go to dinner or something, and then right. You know, but you know, going to somebody's house is, you know, that's still just as fun as going out sometimes. Have a game night, or like, oh, y'all can go watch like movies. You can still be social without doing so much. I was thinking about this too while we were talking. I don't know how much I want to get into y'all's own thing, like on personal business. So in a relationship, we all know something that we don't do well. What's something that you feel that you don't do well in a relationship, even now, or you did in your past, or whatever? Like,
I'm terrible at texting first. Okay,
that's to some people I think that can be a huge deal. Like if someone's constantly texting you first, they feel that you almost don't care. I guess. Yeah. What about you, Tyler?
I would say like expressing emotions, which I think I've gotten better at. Like way better at, but I also think it's still something that I could work on. Mm-hmm. But and then like sometimes when I like expressing emotions is like I'm very extreme about it when I do, so I'll like raise my voice, which is another issue. It's just something that happens. I don't know. I mean, like obviously, eventually I'll get it under control, but it does happen. So maybe expressing your emotions. So it's either I don't do it like enough, or I do it like it's just too much. So it's like it all comes out at once, and I get like I'm not angry, but like I'm just like I guess annoyed in a way. So then it's like they're annoyed that you're not showing emotion. So then I raise my voice, and it's like it seems like I'm mad about it, but I'm just kind of yelling because I just feel like I just got to get it out, and I'm like, all right, but I don't know. It's always like it's one of those things where I feel like if you're gonna have it like something that could possibly turn into an argument, it's like y'all should take like, you know, like walk to separate rooms or something like that, and then like have some time to yourself, and then go back and then try to talk it out. Or being too blunt. Being too blunt is also that's not my issue, but that is an issue. I know I'm bad at being blunt. Especially to somebody. What about you, Nick?
No, mine's pretty similar to Tyler's. Just basically talking about my emotions. Always had a problem with that. But I've never blown up on.
So it's more so you'll stay quiet, I guess, if anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, Nick's, first of all, Nick doesn't really talk that much to begin with, so the fact that we're doing a podcast is very impressive. But he's never really been like the emotional kind of person though, as I've known him for a long time.
Let a lot of things bother me.
Yeah, but I mean, even then though, it's still good to talk about stuff though. I know. It's stuff that you don't realize was bothering you, and like when you talk about it, you're like, okay, you know what? That really wasn't like. It's not as bad now.
Do you feel like you have trouble expressing even like happy emotions? Like they couldn't tell if you were having a good time or not?
I don't know about that.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I feel like if you
or if you're having a good time, your significant other knows you're having a good time.
when you know Nick's having a good time when he's having a good time.
Well, we're friends. That's what I'm trying to think about, like in a relationship, like just like because, like you said, and again, I don't know. I'm not in bed with you sometimes. You know what I'm talking about?
Sometimes,
yeah.
Sometimes they lay down
because I know some people have trouble. Like people will be like, "Are you having fun?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm having a great time." And they're like, "Well, I can't tell. You haven't smiled for like an hour."
Nick's the big spoon.
Are you? do you feel like it's just negative emotions? I guess.
Yeah, it's mostly negative emotions. I'm pretty much the same. With anybody.
I think the negative emotions are even more important than because I feel like there's a lot of negative emotions, and those are the ones that like really just fuck you
cause
up.
problems. Yeah,
like those are the ones that you need to talk about because obviously like you're going to express happy emotions because people love happy emotions, but like the negative ones are like the ones that make you mad or like the ones that you need to tell somebody about because it's like, hey, that's just going to keep happening and eventually it's going to be.
That's
too
the
much.
thing that I don't have a problem with. If I'm pissed. People know.
But is it too much? Also, you need to like.
That's what I'm talking about, like the blunt thing. It's like I'm blunt with like speaking to people or like and being in a relationship, and I feel like I guess that can be bad sometimes because I just like don't like try to sugarcoat it.
Right.
I'll just be like, oh hey, like I don't know, like we kind of did this to Jessica one time, your wife, like when she was like, oh, tell me if these dresses look good on me.
And you're like, that looks ugly as fuck.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Or like,
some people like that, but again, I can see why a lot of people wouldn't.
Like some girls like be like, oh hey, do you like this dress on me? I'd be like, yeah. Or I'll be like, well, if I'm in a relationship with him, I'll try to like kind of sugarcoat it. Be like, yeah, but X, Y, and Z.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, that's why I don't know.
I think I'm pretty bad about like I don't want to say like keeping my word because that's not what I mean, but like the small things that can be big things. So like if it's like
like picking up your clothes.
Right. Something really small. If they're like, hey, I hate when you like leave your toothbrush in the shower. I've had that one before. So like, hate when you leave your toothbrush in the shower all the time.
You brush your teeth in the shower?
Yeah, I brush my teeth in the shower.
Oh, I do like everything separately.
What? No,
Yeah,
get out the way.
I brush my teeth out of the shower. Like, after the shower, I brush my teeth. And
I do it before the shower.
Yeah, I do it after the shower.
I brush my teeth in the shower.
When I used to not have an electrical toothbrush, I used to brush my teeth in the shower. When I was in high school.
So now I can, but now I used to think you can understand why that's a problem with some people because usually people don't brush their teeth in the shower. So if the toothpaste and the toothbrush are in the shower and you're like, all right, I'm ready to brush my teeth, and you're like, where the fuck's the toothpaste? And it's in the shower, you know. So it's a small thing, but I'm saying small things that become big things. So it's not the act, but it's like, hey, don't leave that in the shower. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I won't do that anymore. And then I do it again, you know. So it's not that like it's not the leaving the toothbrush in the shower. It's like, hey, I told you I don't like that, and you do it anyway.
Yeah, or like this isn't like one of my problems, but like when my mom's ex-boyfriend, he was kind of like I guess my ex-stepdad.
Right. He
like, if you wore your shoes in the house, I swear this dude like would pop a blood vessel.
Yeah.
Like you always have to take your shoes outside the house. You know, like that's not like sometimes it's like just like people's parents.
Right.
And houses and everything is they want to keep their floor clean. They don't want mud on their carpet. Yada yada yada. But like, dude, I'm telling you, this dude looked like he was about to like turn into the Hulk.
And like, there's another thing about like going back to like listening to your partner and learning about what they care about. If you ask them a question and they like try to make you sound stupid, that is the most annoying thing.
Yeah, that's I know what you mean about that.
Or if like you're in public and they kind of like just, I don't know, they just seem all kind of like high and mighty about shit, or like if they ever call you stupid or a dumbass or something like that. I mean, if they're mad at you and they call you stupid or a dumbass,
yeah, when
like,
emotions are high,
I get that. But like if you're trying to like understand what they're talking about and they say like they get out of line with it, that's different.
Brilliant, man.
It's just, you know.
Yeah. I guess that so something else that again we talked a lot before about this, you know, what we could talk about, and obviously relationships is something that everyone deals with. If you had a relationship or not, people can deal with relationships, but one thing that everybody has is a past. And so another thing is how important is not important, I guess, is how I don't know, for lack of better terms, important is their past and your past. So, you know, I guess
past relationships, past like mistakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, like things they've done, like
past problems, issues.
Do you hold any of that not against them, but like do you kind of keep it in the back of your head? You know, if you knew your girl was she stole a lot, are you watching your stuff? Are you watching your wallet? You know,
I think people I think some people intentionally do it, but I think there's a lot of people that unintentionally do it, and like it does affect them. But I mean, I also don't think that if they've done it all before, like they even met you and like you met them, you clearly are with them and fell for them.
That person.
For that person. Yeah. Everything they did in their past, like, made them the person that you ended up being with. So that shouldn't, like, I mean, obviously you can know about it, you can ask about it, like, knowing about it's important, but using it or like judging them for it isn't, like, that's not cool. Like, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I think how you started, though, some people do have a problem with. I can say I might even have a problem with it. Subconsciously, you do some stuff that, like, if, say they, I don't know, say they drank too much before you. Yeah. You're always kind of watching how many drinks they have or something. Or you're you know, watching what they drink. Not like you're going to go tell them, like, hey, you had so many drinks, but you're going to watch, you know, you're going to, like, in your head, you're going to be like, damn, that's a fucking 27 beers. Like, you know, like you're going to.
Holy shit.
Well, you know what I mean.
You let them have 27 beers?
But I mean, as long as, like, if they can.
I think subconsciously you're going to do it anyway.
I mean, subconsciously you're going to be like, wow, they do drink a lot. Yeah. But it's like, if it's not a problem, then it's not a problem.
Yeah.
I'm like,
as long as they can't drink more than you.
Yeah. If they're acting presently, they act like, you know, super fucked up when they're drunk. That's different because that's a thing that's happening now. But like, if they can handle their alcohol, it's like, oh damn, they really did used to drink a lot. Like they can handle their liquor or whatever. Yeah. That's, you know, whatever. I don't care because you can drink a lot. That's cool. That's fun.
I've been told
just don't tear shit up.
What do you think about Ribbo? What do you think about people's past?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've been told that because I don't really think about it because I don't really care. I'll just be like, oh, that reminds me of, like, if we're watching a TV show, like me and my significant other, we're watching a TV show, like, that bitch reminds me of my ex. And like, just like little things, be like, that's something my ex used to do. Apparently, like, I've done that. I've been told that I do that too much. Mm-hmm. So I like don't ever do it anymore. Like I completely don't. I'll just keep it in my head.
I think personally, you should never talk about your ex.
See, that's what they told me.
That's a whole different subject. I mean, like, because some people are best friends with their exes.
But that's different. If they're best friends and you know that, but I feel like that's something you should also know before the relationship even starts.
Well, that's what I was talking about the past thing.
But yeah, but I'm saying, that's one of the things. I was like, that's just your past in general. Like, you know, mistakes you've made. Like like if you've been arrested for like, you know, certain stuff. That's whatever. All right, as long as it's not like abuse or whatever. Like, just don't hit me.
Well, what if that's a problem? What if in their previous relationship they were abusive?
If they were abusive, well, I mean, if they haven't been abusive to you, then that's like, all right. Well, then they've gotten past that. They've grown as a person.
Okay, so you know. So
but if they end up doing it, then that's kind of like, all right. First of all, abuse is like a zero tolerance policy. Like nobody, you shouldn't hit either. Like neither one of you should hit each other. That's
exactly.
Just that's just fucked up.
I agree with you.
So that's zero tolerance. Draw the line right there. And I mean, obviously, if she gets mad and kind of like slaps you in the arm, like that's just what that's arguing. But like if she hits you in the face or like
she meant to hurt you,
like she balled up her fist.
That's different. But it's, I don't know. That's the kind, like that stuff is different. But if she's best friends with her ex, that's something that you should know before the relationship starts, and I feel like that's something you would probably know before it starts.
Well, yeah, and I want to know small things about like their past relationships too, because I don't want to make the same mistakes that I've done.
It's important to know. It's important to know about their past relationships, but you can't judge them or use any of that.
Like, I don't want to know this dude's favorite sex position.
Yeah, that's different. But like,
he used to rail me.
Yeah,
I think there's such a thing as bringing up your like past relationships too many times. Like it's something like
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I had a bad, like, I didn't even know it was doing it because I would just, like I said, I'm a blunt person, so I just like kind of say whatever's on my mind all the time. And I would say stuff like that, and it would just like trigger the other person.
If you and that person are doing something, and then they just go, "Oh, me and blah 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 did this. Like, okay, I didn't ask. Like, I don't want to know about it.
Yeah.
Just like, just let it happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was.
Exactly.
Are you thinking about them while we're doing this?
Yeah, exactly. They
Yeah.
bring, but it's like, oh, it brought back a memory. But if it does, be like, I mean, you don't have to mention it. Like, oh, like I did this with somebody.
Yeah, I don't anymore.
Yeah, it's like I did this with somebody, and like obviously I'm probably like, oh, I did that with somebody one time, but I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm like, all right, cool, we're doing this though, and it's way more like it's obviously way more fun now because why would I bring?
Yeah, you don't want to throw the vibe off by saying it because I feel like
it does. Because
I've totally done that.
But then it's also like, I mean, if you ask about a certain thing, like, oh, hey, did you and this person ever do this? And they go, yes. Be like, all right, well, I want to do it anyway because it's fun. Because like, obviously, there's people that don't want to like do the same repetitive shit.
It's fair.
But it's like, oh, hey, did y'all like? What have y'all not done?
And I feel like the reason that I used to do that so much is because in a previous relationship that I had before, like we were very open. We didn't give a shit.
You just talk about whatever.
Like she would be like, oh, me and my ex did this. Oh, that reminds me of him. Like, what an asshole or some shit like that. And like that's why I feel like it was just like so like I didn't care to say it to talk about it or anything. But yeah, apparently girls don't like that shit.
So on the flip side, I guess Nick can start on this one. How do you think do you think that your past is really important to them? Like, did you like? So the people that you've dated, did they like really want to know about your past stuff? Like,
yeah, my past isn't very expansive, so I didn't have.
But I mean, even still, that's a big deal. Like, they might wonder, like, why isn't this guy haven't dated a lot of people?
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
like that.
I have to explain that.
Yeah,
who I am, my values, stuff like that. Like basically how I was in high school.
They want to know about your past. Yeah, they want to. Do you feel like the girls you dated found that important, or did you think they just didn't care? Or a mix of both, I guess.
Or they were confused why you never had a girlfriend.
Yeah, because someone can date you, and they're like, if they're dating you, obviously they like you, and they're like, man, I really like this person.
How has he never had a girlfriend?
How has he never had a girlfriend? You know
he's like we said before, he's not really one to like put his emotions out there. And even when we were younger, it was like he was still. I mean, he wasn't. I don't know. I feel like actually when we were younger, he was a little bit more outgoing, but he's still like he obviously didn't put his emotions out there like that. But I mean, he was always with me too. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we always just.
I was with all the talkers.
Yeah, like we like he was literally with the group of people that just talked to every single person. We'd be like, "Oh, this is Nick," like, and I think that actually helped Nick out like later on because now he can actually like he's not just going to be like standoffish and like not going to say anything. He'll actually talk to people and like he'll like introduce himself and like.
Well, over the years that I've known Nick, I've noticed Nick is more like. When Nick speaks, it's something important.
Yeah.
And
Nick,
like
sound bomb.
Yeah. He doesn't. He like not that Nick's like obviously Nick talks too. I can talk to Nick and he's not going to stare at me and not say anything.
Nick has the funniest one-liners of like probably anybody I've ever heard in my life. If he's drunk and he says something, it's oh my god!
Yeah.
I died.
So if you guys listening to us, obviously the bulk of people talking are me, Rambo, and Tyler. Nick's gonna speak, but when you do hear Nick speak, like if you're not listening to us, listen when Nick speaks. Like not to put pressure on you, but over the years I know, but not to throw pressure at him. But over the years that I've known Nick, and again maybe why you guys might be wondering like, why isn't that Nick guy speaking that much? Nick, like I don't know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I like to think that Nick. He thinks about what he says. He's one of the few people that like thinks before he speaks.
He likes to listen to you and then judge you silently.
Not even that,
but he'll come at you with something funny as hell,
to you
and just make you look wrong and stupid.
He'll listen
not
to
on
you
purpose, but he just says it. And you're like, damn,
and give you like a true response. Some people just speak
with defeated as a person.
Yeah, some people just speak with emotion like right off the bat, and I think most people do.
But it's like a likable quality about him. Is that he actually pays attention to what you say, and then he like thinks about it, and then he'll come out and be like. Well, that's kind of stupid, but
if anyone's listening,
like, that doesn't make any sense. Why do we do that? Or he'll just crack a joke.
He'll question you. He'll question a part of like your story that you said that you weren't expecting him to question, and you just can't explain it.
Like you know what?
You can correct any of this if we're wrong somewhere.
No, we're definitely not wrong because we've all been there.
But I don't see anything wrong. I just try to be really detailed with what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and just make sure everybody understands what I'm trying to.
Hey, express your emotions as much as you want to, Nick, because we're all doing it.
Hey, and knowing Nick, that's something I really appreciate about him. He's not going to give me. Nick won't. If I know anyone's not going to feed me bullshit, it's going to be Nick.
Every single time.
All right, so that helps us kind of segue into. We were trying to figure out why we all kind of had the same agreement, but I know other people might think differently. Should you live with this person or your significant other before you guys decide to get engaged or to get married, or you guys take that next step? It's important to you to live with them before I guess being versus being like traditional and getting married and then figuring all that out after you get married.
100%, not even a question.
Yeah, I think it's important.
It has to be. I mean, there's a lot of shit that goes on when you live by yourself. So think about like moving in with somebody and then having to like, what if they're messy as hell and you don't even know?
Yeah, because I think that's
like if somebody comes over, you're like, oh, I'm gonna clean it before they get here. But like, if you're like, I
think it's almost a forgotten, not forgotten, but like a just more modernized tradition that everyone lives with the people before they get married. Now I'm sure there's still some people that hold up that
who don't live with each other before they can move in either. Lesbians. Because they move so fast in relationships. Dude, I know a lot of lesbians.
I can't speak for all lesbians, but as far as I know, that they do move faster than your average, heterosexual relationship. But according to Rambo. But yeah, I think it's kind of almost just a norm now for people to live with somebody before they get married or get engaged or even,
It's definitely more of a new age thing, or a millennial thing. I guess we want to sit here and put labels on it and shit, since millennials do everything and everybody else fucking hates us for it.
Okay, I guess since we agree so much on that one, but still kind of getting in like the how long until you meet their parents or until they meet your parents.
Their decision.
Yeah, I think it's more of like if they're comfortable with you.
Yeah, it's a comfort thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's also like, did you meet their parents before y'all started dating?
Okay, so what about you though? How long?
Oh, I don't give a shit. But
how long are you dating somebody until you're like, I want to bring them home to be my parents?
Well, they can be my parents, and whenever they. Well, first of all, that's a whole different thing because my dad is something. Right. He is a story.
Fucking fast.
So he's something else to handle completely because he's a jackass. So I really don't care when they meet him, but I prefer obviously I warn them beforehand. I'm like, first of all, my dad will probably talk a lot of shit, or he'll probably make you uncomfortable because that's what he does. He just doesn't care. My mom is the nicest person you've ever met in your life.
I think
so. It's like,
for me, I want them to meet them fairly often, maybe even after a couple of weeks or like 2 or 3 weeks, because I want to know, like, I don't know. I feel like if with my parents or family or siblings or whatever, like if they just like almost like the friends, if they straight up or like hate my significant other, then like I'm probably like, you know what, early on you're not too deep into it to where you're like, you know what, I can cut ties with this. But if they're like, say I bring somebody home and then my parents are like, Scott, what the fuck is that? Like, and then like even like how honest like my siblings or my parents can be, they can be like, Scott, like looks wise, you can do better. Like they would tell me shit like that. You know what I mean? Like they would let me know that stuff. So not that I had a problem with it. Now that I'm married, they met Jessica and they love
looks wise, you can do better.
No, they love Jessica off the rip. And again, I had Jessica meet my parents and my siblings and everything really fast. I know it'd be different for you guys.
You also moved in. You moved in like this day you met her. Okay, a week after you met her.
We're not going to go there. He moved in. I wouldn't say he moved in because obviously they moved in together after like
I just
stayed. He stayed there. He stayed at her house for a
But were his clothes?
Well, I told her it was like I told her it was a mixture of like I stayed with her a lot, but I didn't. I was living where I was living. I didn't want to live for that long, so
yeah, I know.
So
our Madden time.
So we like moved pretty fast, but even still, I wanted her to meet my siblings and my parents and stuff pretty fast because I wanted to like, I that would let me know right off the bat if this was a bad idea, if I was just moving too fast, if I was just lonely or whatever the case. But they love Jessica and they had no problem with it. And even anybody before, I've had relationships where they were like, Scott, for real, like that's who you want to. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe.
See, that's different for me because my mom likes everybody.
Oh no,
she likes my dad. My dad doesn't really pay attention that much. So like, literally, any girl I bring home, my parents are like, "Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's either she's really cool, or they haven't met her and I just talk about them."
And then his mom will stay friends with.
My mom will stay.
Stay friends with them, and then she's like, "Why don't you talk to X anymore?" Blah, 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 blah.
Because it's my ex. Like. Oh my god!
Okay, so what about this? So flip side, I know some of us can attest to this, some of us not. I'm actually thinking about all you guys, really just me and Nick. Okay, so if the other person has kids, or if you have kids, how often or how early or late do you meet their kid?
That's up to them.
Up to them as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and like, hey, like, they have to be comfortable with you meeting.
No, but I'm saying you comfortable. Like, what if a weekend they're like, hey, I want you to meet my kid? Are you like okay? Or are you like, hey, I'm not ready?
I'd be like, are you okay with like? Because I mean, obviously they have. If they're okay with it, then I'm like, well, that's like, I don't have a problem with meeting a child.
So what if she wants to bring the kid on the first date? What are you saying?
I've had a girl bring the kid on the second date in the movie theater, and we had to leave the movies.
You don't want the kid that early? That's what I'm saying.
No.
So how early do you want the kid?
Bringing the kid on a date is different. Like if me and her plan on going on a date and she brings the kid, that's
especially without me knowing.
Yeah,
because that's what happened.
But if she,
is that how you met the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's a problem. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
how would you want it to happen?
Like I'd be like, hey, she has to like tell me like, hey, like, my son's gonna be here, or like, oh, hey, let's hang out. I'm gonna bring my son, or like, I'm gonna bring my child. Whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's different. But like, if we're going on a date, that's like an us thing. So that's like me and her trying to get to know each other. So she brings the kid. It's like obviously.
What if she has like all good intentions? She's like, yeah, I want to go to the mall with you and walk the mall and get to know you. And then she's like, also, I wanted you to meet my son. And just
I'd be like,
but if she doesn't tell you that, she just shows up at the mall.
Then I'd be like, okay, like I mean,
that's weird.
I'd probably tell her like,
yeah.
Why would you not tell me that your kid's coming?
Yeah, I think she should tell you because first of all,
everybody thinks different. So maybe they want to see your like natural, true reaction to it. Them having a kid.
But most people with their children. I mean, first of all, do you know she has a child when she shows up, or does she just show up with a kid and you're like, I didn't know you had a baby?
I don't know. It's the different scenarios. There's yes and no.
But it's
so if that person's crazy. They didn't tell you they had a kid,
and
you're dating somebody, and you show up with a kid.
So right off the rip, whenever I was dating with my son, with Legend, with my first son, you don't know how to go about it because there was some people that like right when I started talking to him, like, you know, hi, I'm Scott, hi, you're whatever, like, you know, how getting to know each other, and then if you mention you have a kid, off the rip they're just like, he's a dad, like they don't want to fuck with that.
Well, plus you were also like 20.
Well, I know, but I'm saying even still that people are having kids at younger ages now.
No, I know. I'm just saying that. Like, I feel like it's a lot like more like of a back off thing when you're younger than when you're like our age.
Oh yeah, and then
I feel like our age, you kind of have to accept that if you find somebody who doesn't have a kid now, you're lucky as shit.
Or they're young.
Or they're young.
Yeah. Because then I would have some people that I would meet, and I'd be like, you know, I would test it. I would date them, not date them, but you know, they were my girlfriend, but I would date them for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then I would say like, okay, if we want to go any further, there's something you need to know about me. I have a son. And then it would almost be the same as the first one. They would just bolt. You know what I mean? Like,
but I think that's like the first thing you should tell somebody is that you have a kid before they, because like if you just drop it on them like in the middle of like y'all talking, I think that should be the first thing if they're okay with it at first. But then they know eventually that they're gonna have to meet your kid at some point.
But the off thing, the thing that I guess, and again, not that I'm like special, I'm the only one that has a kid in this group, is that I wanted to know that people liked Scott for Scott. Not that I had a kid, not that I was a dad. I wanted you to know Scott. And then if you liked me, then I could let you in on like, you know, that I'm also a father and I have a kid and you can meet that. It's hard to know, like, you know, I don't know. You get judged off being a single young parent way faster than like them getting to know you.
No, my thing is if they like you as a single young parent, then I mean they're gonna like you because they're gonna be like, hey,
that's who you are.
Like if you're a father, you're obviously like more in tune. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say you're more in tune with your emotions, but like they're gonna think that you're obviously like not self-centered because you don't just care about yourself.
More responsible,
especially you're more responsible.
2 weeks to drop that kind of bomb on somebody.
Yeah, I would say like
I did that.
That's bad.
Yeah, they left. So I think
I think that having a child is something that needs to be brought up. Like when you first talk to somebody, be like, "Oh, I have like this many kids."
Like almost within like meeting them.
But I'm saying like that doesn't mean that like it's gonna affect you judging them like later on because obviously you're gonna hang like that's why you hang out.
I feel like once you start getting like the vibes that y'all like each other, that's when you tell them. Not like, "Hi, I'm Scott. I have 3 kids."
Yeah, right, start with your intro. Be like, but like if you're sitting there and like talk, and then like the next day be like, "Oh, hey, like that," and like y'all talk for a little bit, and like maybe you don't see each other the whole time.
You guys been right though. I told Jessica found out I had a kid like the night I met her. So
yeah,
and now we're married. So
exactly. So it's like obviously having a kid doesn't really affect like.
Dude, I dated a girl for 6 months. Knew she had a kid off rip. never met the kid.
Really? 6 months?
6 months, never met the kid.
Damn,
Well, that's
She was like, no,
like,
yeah, like that had nothing to do with like I didn't care. It was like that's like her like when I'm comfortable. Like her ex before me dated for like 10 months. Dude never met the kid. She was like overly protective.
She wasn't going to let someone meet that kid until she knew she was going to marry that person.
They were engaged. Her and her ex were engaged for I don't know how long they were engaged, but they were like together for 10 months, engaged. They were going to be married within a month. And
still never met the kid?
He never met the kid. So she's like...
Did she have custody? Like, the kid lived with her?
Yes. She's like overly protective of the kid. I feel like that's overly protective.
That's a little bit too
But I mean,
extra,
that's also like, you know, I'm not the parent. That's their decision.
Right. That's fair. I get that. Okay. So
like, I've had both ways.
Both ways happen to you?
Second date, chick show up with the kid. To the movies, like the worst fucking place. Yeah, to the movies, we had to walk. It was Creed 1. It was the first Creed.
Oh, why are you taking a kid to see? How old was the kid, roughly? Huh? How old was the kid, roughly? Like an Emma, older kid? Like Emma, 12? Or like okay, 2. Like Emma, okay. Wow. Like 2. Why the hell are you bringing a kid in to watch?
2 or 3, I don't know. She was kind of like...
Right, you can tell.
Yeah. I was just like, oh... She was just staring at me the whole time. I was like...
Did you have to buy her a ticket?
Huh? No, I was there. She was like running late.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think the kid situation is based mostly off of the parent of the child.
Well, it's like you said earlier. Nowadays,
if I know they ever have a kid, I don't care when I meet the kid,
it's just
as long as they're okay with it. Because I'm obviously I'm okay with you having a child. Like you said, I'm still talking to you.
Is there a too early to meet the kid? Like, what if they want to meet you? What if they're like, "Hi, I'm Tyler. You know, I'm."
If the kid's there, obviously that's the earliest time you're going to meet the child. If the kid's already with them, but you already know, like, hey, that's either your niece, nephew, or
what if she? I'm saying, if she really, like, y'all just kind of meet, y'all hit it off, y'all are at a bar. Bar's cool, and then you're like, you know what, I like you, let's get lunch tomorrow. And tomorrow she brings the kid. Is that too early?
I mean, she has to tell me she's bringing the kid. She can't just show up with him.
Okay, what if she tells you she's bringing the kid? Is that still too early? You guys haven't even had
that. If you're not okay with it, that's something that you have to say.
Exactly. I mean, you, Tyler. Personally, would you be like, hey, how about we have lunch first? Or would you be like, all right, cool, bring the kid?
It depends on, like I said, it depends on like.
Also depends on how much I like her.
Yeah, it depends on how.
So it's case by case.
Yeah, everything's. It can't. It's obviously not the same with every single person you talk to.
If I'm like, yo, this is the most beautiful, or like this chick is like perfect for me, but she has a kid and she's like, I want to bring my kid to lunch tomorrow. I'm like, I'm doing everything I can to be like, okay, cool, let's make this work.
But if you sort of like her, you're going to be like, how about we hang out first?
If I sort of like her and she has a kid, I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe another time.
Like, if you hit it off, like, immediately, and y'all were just like, all right, like, clicking back and forth, like, and,
that's what I'm saying.
And then even after the first time I meet each other, and y'all keep talking, and, like, y'all are still kind of, like, you feel like something's going on, be like, she's like, oh, yeah, so I have to bring my son. And I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, that's fine. But if it's like, you know, I'm still not really sure about her, and it's like, you know, just kind of, we've only been talking for a little bit and haven't really hit it off as well as I want to, I'd be like, all right, maybe we should have like a dinner or something like that with just us two and get to know each other better.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I completely agree with you.
So it's like, you know, it's circumstances.
Okay, so the final thing that we're going to talk about, and we might do about 15 minutes on this thing, just to kind of all of us, and again, we've all done this, and we've all had in relationships. How important is sex to you in the relationship? I guess, you know what, let's start with this. How important is having sex the first time you have sex with that person? Is it, what if she makes you wait months? If you guys have sex off the rip? If it's like a couple of weeks? Like, what do you, I don't know. What's an ideal situation for you guys, I guess? I mean, not ideal is like, yeah, I want to fuck her right when I meet her. But I'm saying, if you like this person, and you're like, how long are you willing to wait if you actually like somebody? And how long is
if I really like somebody, longest I've ever had to wait is 2 weeks.
Okay.
And
was that like crazy long for you, or was it like...
Well, yeah, compared to all the other relationships I've been in, right. 2 weeks was the longest I ever had to wait. But that was easily the best relationship I've ever been in.
Okay. What about you, Sal?
I think the longest I waited was when I lost my virginity. We dated for like a month before that happened. But like, I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know how long it took for my second one, but I don't know if we were like official at the time. But I don't know. It just like I said, it just depends. I mean, if I'm okay with it, which obviously like waiting for sex after you've already had sex, you know, is like different. But so losing my virginity and like
you
having to wait a month. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's been fucking however long I've waited.
Yeah.
Like a month's not a big fucking deal.
Well, like I don't know if it's what's unpopular and what's not. Like I kind of want to have sex. I want to know like if this is like everything might be perfect about you, but like we just don't click in bed. Like there's
that was another thing, dude.
There's some people that just don't like. Yeah, what if you have sex and it's not even like maybe not either one of you are bad or good or whatever. It's just you guys just don't click in bed. Like that would be an ongoing problem.
That's all right. So it's like if that's a problem though, it's something you should probably either you don't have to bring it up to them, but you could like. I mean, obviously you can if you're not.
If it's a problem,
if you have to wait a year into the relationship, they say, "Oh, wait till marriage," and you're like, "We've both had sex before. Like, why?" But some people do want that. Obviously, it happens. They want to wait till marriage. Some people want to do that, but it's also like
terrible idea.
But I think it's like. I think that's more of like an old school kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
more
it's
traditional.
like obviously
like
now,
not living in the before you get married.
Because sex before marriage is like a huge like that. Nobody really listens to that now.
Right.
It's not a big deal anymore.
Why would you want to marry somebody you have bad sex with?
That's what I'm saying. That's why me again on popular opinion. I kind of want to have sex
with you. If y'all both wait till marriage, y'all are both gonna be fucking terrified anyway.
For me, it's not like I want to fuck right now. And more so, it's I want to know if we click in that way. Yeah, if we're compatible. Yeah, I want to know if we're compatible that way. Before I invest so much time.
I'll name drop someone right here, dude. We had like good, hold on.
Go ahead.
We had there ain't no way she's listening to this anyways. If she is, sucks to suck.
I hope we get big and then she finds out. Go back to one of our first episodes.
We had really good chemistry like outside. Lexi, y'all know her.
Okay.
We had really good chemistry with like everything. Like y'all met her.
Wait, the bitchy one?
Huh? The blonde one.
The one that was she won the game.
She was the Texas game.
Reminded me of you. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
The female Rambo.
The female Rambo. That's why we clicked so well and everything, and like I don't know, it was like very easy and shit. And then we had sex, and it was just like a dead fish. She dead fished me.
And you're not feeling that.
No. Yeah. Huh?
She just flopped around.
Yeah, dude.
That first time was
she
important.
dead fish even more.
Her first performance was a dead fish. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Show out a little bit. You know what I mean?
There's also like this.
We broke up like a week later.
It doesn't have to be like they don't have to dead fish you either. It's like you could just like not honestly like there's people that have sex with people that they're not even dating yet. Obviously, they're like they've talked for a little bit. Probably not more than like a week or two, and they end up having sex. But it's like
just talking off personal experience.
All right, first one, Nick.
we can tell it's your personal experience by the way you're.
There's people that
I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person. So I say people, but think about it like y'all have sex, but then even if they're not dead fishing you, it's just like you do it, and then you're like, okay, that was kind of lame, even though you kind of like tried to.
You're almost looking for like passion.
You even tried to like get intense with it, but it's still kind of
like you try to like put them in different positions, and they're just like nope.
And no, even
missionary to me.
Even if you what? No, even if you do different.
I want to keep my shirt on.
No,
that's the worst.
Oh God.
No, you can do different positions with them, but you're still like, all right. It's just not like you're not even doing anything. It's just kind of like I'm doing all the work still, regardless of where we're at this point. And it's. I don't know. There's not enough energy, and then there's not anything at all. There's dead fishing somebody and not being into it. Or being into it and just not being good at it.
Yeah. How about you, Nick? Is it more off the rip? Is it more a respectable time, or do you not care if you have to wait like 6 months with the person you're dating?
I mean, I'm sure it's always circumstantial, but I mean, for me, it was a week for both of my relationships.
Did that work for you? Like.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, in the relationship, were you not like, oh, that was too fast, or were you, or at the time, I guess if you can remember, was it too fast, or were you like, was it good timing? What do you think? I guess
at the time, I think it was good timing.
Yeah. I can work with that. Okay, I guess now still talking about sex in relationships.
You gotta think about it though. How long were you talking to this person before y'all started dating? Like, do you have to date them and then have sex with them? Like,
dude, I had the girl that made me wait 2 weeks, bro. She like started like almost living with me. Like we went on our first date, everything. She stayed the night at my house, and then she was going to college in Galveston. So she was like, and she lived in Houston. She was like, oh well, can I just stay? And it just like became like a thing where she would just like not stay with me on the weekends, but during the entire week she would stay with.
Stay at your place.
So we basically lived together before we had sex.
Think about you talk to somebody for like a month or so.
Before they
But y'all go out and do stuff. Yeah, before y'all are officially boyfriend and girlfriend, so y'all talk for a little bit, and then y'all officially become boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, I mean, obviously, you're not gonna wait another month and a half, 2 months to.
Well, you can say obviously, sex. But then there's some people that do.
There's some people that do, but I feel like the majority of people now don't wait that long. It's I mean, obviously they're like, oh yeah, I want to have kids. That's what fucking protection's for. Be smart about it. Smart sex, guys.
Okay, so there's I have 3 kids, so there's
what's this pull out game?
I never also I do the push and pray method, so I try to just
that does not work for him.
It does not work.
He's 0-3 on that one.
So I get now so besides now not having sex off the rip or I guess the first sex now into a relationship, how important is that I guess you have an active.
It's frequent.
Not frequent, just I guess active. That you have a sex life, you know. Or what if it's I don't know. What if they? I don't know. I guess just frequent. How important is an active sex life in your relationship?
At least 4 times a week.
At least 4. Okay, before I hit you with a number, the question was: is an active sex life in a relationship important?
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah. Because I mean, sex in a relationship is important. I mean, obviously, it's not the most important thing, but not having sex at all.
I feel like if you're having maybe 4 times a week. I don't know. No, that seems a decent amount. I feel like if you're not having sex in a relationship, you don't like the person as much.
That's not necessarily true, but I can
not necessarily true. Yeah. But if you are having sex frequently, either they're a sex addict or they y'all actually like each other.
So the best. I don't know if it's
or did you just get sex
or whatever thing I saw was I was reading something and someone said sex isn't the most important thing in a relationship, but it is important. Just like flip side, when you buy a house, if say that house doesn't have a bathroom's not the most important thing in the house, but you need it. So what if someone told you can only use your bathroom 1 time a month? It's gonna piss you off, right?
Yeah, that sucks.
Okay, so flip it. You're only having sex 1 time a month.
Dude, it's not happening.
And I think an active sex life is important. I think it's not so much sometimes it's just the act of sex, but I think it's also
and I feel like it takes away the chance that you're thinking well, if they don't want to have sex with me,
they're probably with somebody else.
Exactly. It takes away the cheating aspect in your head.
That's fair.
And it's also I think it's more sex is not. It's so. I mean, obviously you can show oh hey I love you through other means.
It's a form of intimacy.
Yeah, but it's the closest you could possibly be with somebody,
right?
Because you're literally with another person.
Yeah, for sure. So, I completely agree with you.
Yeah, right. But then it's still also. I mean, it's hey if you're not doing it with me, then I know I want it, and they say that women love sex just as much as men do, and if I want it this bad and you don't want it as bad as me, obviously they probably don't want it 4 times a fucking day. Because guys could be damn, hold up, I just did it this morning, but I need it now.
So something that I just found out, because I do every now and again read a book here and there. Something I found out is that when
you can read,
yeah. So as a longer relationship goes, I think, and if I can remember this the right way, men need sex to feel connected. Women need to feel connected to have sex. So it's a totally you guys have to literally be in the exact same mood at the exact same time to make it happen. If you're not feeling connected,
that actually makes that does make sense. But I mean,
that's why sometimes sex can go up and down in a relationship. Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. There's not really a specific number, but once a month is fucking insane.
Well, yeah.
If you can't even do it at least once a week, that's kind of if they don't feel connected with you at least once a week.
There's a problem either way. Even if it's not sex, like you said, if they don't feel, they're telling you subconsciously that they don't feel connected to you more than once a week.
Not having time or being too tired. Obviously, if you have kids,
there's so many other factors.
So having kids, being later on in a relationship and being married and having kids is different because you might not have time or y'all are both exhausted.
Right.
Eventually you'll find time, and you'll still find more time than once a month.
Well, sometimes there's even conflicting schedules. What if you work the night shift and she works the day shift?
Yeah,
you don't even see each other. Yeah. There's other factors.
But during at the beginning of a relationship, it's I still feel you're connected to each other more than once a week at least. It's got to be at least once a week.
Okay. So check this out. One of my regulars said this.
Here we go.
She said, so say you have drunk sex a lot. She said what she would do is like say that she would go like to the hotel or whatever with this dude, yada yada yada, and she would have sex with him. She would make sure that she'd have sex with him in the morning to make sure that she actually liked him.
That's fair.
And I was like, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Hey, morning sex is like the best sex.
Morning sex.
I was literally just telling Nick. That's what reminded me.
Okay, so we're gonna close here, but we're gonna close with two things. We're gonna close with your not your favorite like position or whatever, but kind of like you said, morning sex. Your favorite favorite sex, if that makes sense. So be it morning sex, be it public, be it shower, like whatever. Like or if you just like to be one-on-one in your bedroom, like whatever it is. And then also we're gonna go with I kind of like when Ribbo jumped on. What is your like comfortable number a week? Like if you had the night and not your ideal like, oh, if I could, because if I could, I would fuck every day.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like your like comfortable number.
We're guys.
We're guys. But your comfortable number to like, to maintain a relationship. So we'll start. We'll flip over here. We'll start with Tyler. So go with your favorite like just. I mean, I know we have so many different listeners. We even have family listeners, but we're all 25
adults.
plus.
We're at least 25
grown-ups, and we all do this. We have sex. If
one of us has 3 kids.
If anybody didn't know, out of Nick, Rambo, myself, and Tyler, we have sex. Not with each other, but we do have sex. So let's get past let's all be mature about this.
I would say like besides like morning sex being the best, like spontaneous.
Just like out of nowhere,
her just being like, all right, like we like right, like that's being like, oh, right now, like okay, like that's the best. But like spontaneous in general is the best, but like morning is like the most consistently the best one because you're like, all right, because that happens more often than her just being like, we gotta pull the car over. It's like, all right. Hold up, you sold me at pull over. Oh, we're good. Hey, ho. So, that's fine. And then as far as like during like the number, I would like, I mean, 3 is decent. Because I mean, like, obviously I'm not going to see them every day. Mm-hmm. And 3 is I mean, not like if I'm doing like 3 in one day, then, we can.
3 times a week.
We can 3 times a week, but if, 3 days a week.
3 days a week. That's what I was going for. That's what I was going for. Yeah,
3 days a week would be decent.
Okay.
Out of 7 days, that's not bad.
All right, mine would probably be
without being married and living with the person.
I would still say 3 to 4 times a week, number wise. 3 to 4 times, I think, is a healthy amount. I can get if it's less, like if like you said earlier, factors your work, if you have kids, your schedules, like everything's different.
It doesn't have to be consistently. It's just like an average.
An average of just like like some weeks will be 5 to fucking 6, and then some weeks will be 1 to 2. But if you average out to like 3 to 4, I can live with that,
Yeah.
And then I guess my favorite, just like spontaneous is cool. Morning is cool. Maybe like I don't know. I don't know why, and not that. And sometimes it can even be like uncomfortable or whatever. But I do like. I don't know why I like the car. I just think it's because it's like
it's just weird.
It's I guess it kind of goes into spontaneous. It's kind of like what.
I feel like if you have a comfortable car to have sex in,
my
truck sucks.
But think about it.
What's a comfortable car?
But think about it. If you're having sex in an uncomfortable.
I had an expedition at one point.
If you're having sex in an uncomfortable car, that means you really wanted to have sex. You don't care how tiny that space is.
And you're like right on each other the whole time. Like you can't go anywhere. Like you're just there.
There's legs going everywhere.
That shit looks wild.
You don't know if the AC's on or not.
First of all, AC's all the way up, or else we're gonna die.
Oh, dude, the most memorable time I've ever had sex in a car, AC was off. Bro, I remember Dominique Gagné came outside because we were at a house party and looked. It was like fucking Titanic. Those bitches were so fogged up. He said he was waiting for a hand to go up on the.
So that's what I'm saying. I think because it kind of ties in with spontaneous. I just like car. I don't know why. It's weird because it's like it's also can be kind of like public. Like where's the car parked? Like it's like there's so many different things going to car. I think car is probably really exciting.
I'd be like, hey, going to have sex? Go have sex in the car? Go have sex in the car, and it's in their fucking parking lot.
In our driveway.
With the driveway, I mean,
we leave the house to go to the driveway.
Yeah,
sir, this is a school.
Okay, remember what you got.
Like y'all said, y'all already heard my how many times how many days
4,
sex a week? Like 3 to 4.
3 to 4. Okay.
3 to 4. More on the 4 side.
Heavy on the 4.
Heavy on the 4.
So 4.
But mine, I agree. Morning sex is cool. Spontaneous sex is cool. Mine though is that like you're not with them and they like call you or like send you a Snapchat or something like come over and fuck me now, and you're like, oh, I'm on my way. And you're just like you're like ready because you're just like getting antsy and shit about it. That is like
you had all the build up on the way over.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna.
Your heart's like,
yes.
I get there.
And then you get down to sleep.
30 seconds. Let's go.
Oh, dude, that's the worst. Dude, come over. Let's have sex right now. All right, you're speeding, going 100 on the highway.
You call them when you're outside. You're like, they're not answering.
Knock on the door. Nothing. You sit outside for 20, 30 minutes. Never happened to me though. But
yeah, text them.
Yeah, it's never happened before. You awake? You good? Nothing.
Fuck. Drive home.
You go home and text. You go home and then text the next day. What happened?
Why did you show up? Okay.
Where were you, bitch? No. Chat.
All right, Nick. What about you?
What you got, Nick?
I'm with y'all with the number. About 4.
4, yeah.
4. Right now, sell for 1.
Ladies.
Hey, we'll all sell for one besides Scott.
As for what kind, I'd say post-fight sex.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Oh,
That's
the angry sex.
Yeah, so okay, so when you say post fight, is it like
choking sex?
is it so there's two kinds of post fight sex, I think. Is it like y'all are still angry, or is it like I forgive
It's
you?
like makeup.
Like makeup, okay.
So that's that angry slash
Dude,
like, oh my god.
There's post fight where y'all didn't finish the fight and you're still angry, and then there's post fight like you said, like makeup sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like the makeup sex more. It's more passionate.
Right.
Angry sex can get a little rough.
Yeah, and then I don't like I don't think I even have this that much, but I don't like the angry sex. And then like you guys have sex, and then you're still pissed off. Like I don't feel that. You know what I mean? If I have sex and afterwards I'm like, okay, cool, we're good, right? And they look at me and they're so pissed off. I'm like, nah.
Then you just get up and walk off. Like,
This was a bad idea. Like,
can't cuddle.
Dude, half the time I just get up and just chug a gallon of water right afterwards.
Oh right. Oh man, favorite post-sex drink. You know what? Okay, we have to kill this. We're gonna end it here, but we obviously have a lot more to go off of. We might even revisit this later on.
This will be a topic in a later episode.
Maybe sex will be its own episode.
I won't be sharing this on my Facebook.
I'll share it on mine.
That one might be a little bit more private.
Sorry,
but,
Grandma.
Anyways, that's gonna do it for this Rounds on Us. Again, tonight we had the core 4. We have Tyler, Scott, Rambo, and Nick. Again, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. We have an Instagram, right?
We have an Instagram and Twitter.
Instagram and Twitter. Follow, like, subscribe, share. Let people know we're out there, and give us topics. When you guys want, what y'all want us to talk about? Anything like that? We can use it. Right now, we do want to, reach out to everything. We don't want to just be a comic book of movies, sex. Like, we want to be, everything. You have guys ideas, and some of y'all know us. You want to know what
Y'all definitely know us.
Well, yeah. If y'all have things y'all like want to know what we think about, let us know, and we'll do our best. But anyways, that's probably gonna do it for us.
Until the next round.
I like that. He came up there on the spot. We did not rehearse that.
Wow, Rambo, you suck.
So he did. I'm gonna take this. So until the next round, we'll see you guys next time.